Hi everybody. I wanted to pop in today and share with you a travel journal that I just maybe finished. I'm not really sure. My intention with this, I just got back from a trip to Omaha to visit some friends. And my intention with this was to have something that was just quick and easy and that would help me to record my memories of the trip and what stood out for me with my artist's eye. So we're just going to do a flip through of that. My trip really started out with St. Louis. That was the end of my first day's traveling. And there is the St. Louis Archway, or Gateway Park. Super cool and interesting place, and the shapes just so amazing. And the park continued. Let's see, there was a really cool bridge there, which just went on across the river. Really fascinated me, all these arcs in different directions. Once I left St. Louis, going across Missouri, just a ton of silos and old fences and telephone poles. Not a ton of foliage. This is collage from a napkin that I found at my friend's house, so that holds memories of her for me. Right before you get into Omaha, there are these big giant factories which had really cool shapes. My friend made tea while we were there, so I snagged his tea bag. Got a little kite hanging from the telephone pole and factories. And downtown Omaha was really interesting. This is their official logo. More tea bags and a place where I took my dog for doggy daycare. There was tons of brick buildings. It's an old city that was they did there were a lot of slaughterhouses and mills and things like that. So there's just tons of beautiful, beautiful brick buildings all over. There's also a beautiful museum, the Joslyn Art Museum. I spent an afternoon there and did some quick sketches of some of the things that I really enjoyed. Added a few things from their brochure and just kind of had fun with it. And I think that the architecture of the building was one of the things that fascinated me the most about this place. They also, this was a pink, there's a picture of it on the next page. It was a pink marble building, and then inside of it was saltillo tile, which comes from Mexico. So it was sort of an unusual building. And the collection was unusual and unique as well. This was a sketch of a sculpture inside. There's a picture of the building. The pink marble, very traditional and, I don't know, maybe Greek maybe, I don't know. It's beautiful Rodin. I've seen another statue from this collection in another museum, and I just love them. So she made it into the pages of the journal. There were all of these seed pods. They were everywhere. All the trees were blooming and shedding their seeds, so that was kind of an interesting part of the trip too. In this coffee house, my friend is very much into coffee, and this is right around the corner from their house, and I loved amateur coffee. How cool is that? Their house. And right up the street from their house is a big cathedral. Let's see if I can bring that down, and it towers over and dominates the cityscape. So I wanted to get that into there. They actually, from their back porch, there's a view of this cathedral. It's just a couple of blocks away. And the city is also very industrial. So right in the middle of town, there's factories and industrial type shapes that really interested me. So I love these accordion journals because you can keep going. My dog went, this is a blind contour drawing. My dog looks more like a puppy than I thought he was. And they have this little miniature dachshund that it's kind of delicate, so they couldn't really play. So that was sort of a big part of it, was trying to get them to coexist without playing, which was really hard for a robust young man. And it was hard for her too. She wanted to play pretty bad. She just didn't realize that she was possibly delicate and could get hurt. And then just a couple blocks down from the cathedral is this amazing castle right in the middle of the city. It's the Joslyn Castle. and I was just fascinated by the shapes of the turrets and the crenellations and the towers. So I had such a good time drawing this as I was there. There is a walking bridge. I gotta find the name of it and put it in here. There's a walking bridge that goes over the river. Omaha is on the Nebraska side and Council Bluffs is on the Iowa side, and there's sort of one city. And there's this walking bridge that goes across the river in between the two. And it has this cool shape. It's serpentine. There's another one that shows it even better. Really interesting fences and buildings, and the pillars with the guide wires really interested me. And this is my favorite view of that, is the way that bridge just goes around, back, over around. And there's a lot of public art there too, which was really cool. There's a big red sculpture right over here that I didn't get. This is a big sculpture. This is a building right here to try and give a reference point for how huge this sculpture was, and it's made entirely of roasting tins. So that was pretty cool. I put some pictures in here too. This was that sculpture that I liked so much in their house. My dog. And as I was heading back, there was all of these watering things. I'm sure if you've driven across farmland, you have seen them. As the water spurts out of them, they roll across the field. It must be the water pressure that makes them roll. I don't know that much about them. So there were these cool silos everywhere and these structures that water the seeds and the crops. And then my last night, I was traveling in a camper van, and so there is this service you can buy into that businesses subscribe to as well, and once you've paid your dues, you can stay at any of the businesses overnight in their parking lot for free, and they ask you that you go inside and buy something from them. So I was able to stay at this distillery on my way home, and it was very cool. It was the first time I'd been inside anywhere in a very long time that was sort of a dining. It wasn't really dining, there were cocktails. So I did a little bit of a whiskey tasting and really just enjoyed myself being out of the camper, and the dog was able to go in with me. They were all very dog friendly. Had these cool wooden stickers, and then on my way back home I saw a road that ended right next to the highway with the diamonds, and I thought that was kind of a cool way to end the journal. And that is it. So it didn't take me too long to make this, and it's a wonderful recollection of that trip for me. I hope that you enjoyed the video.